Exactly 27 minutes after 7, I've got Reverend Stephen Wengam, who is the lead pastor of the Cedar Mountain Chapel, Assemblies of God, Ghana International Church in East Legon, joining me this morning. But it's not about the church. We're talking in his capacity as the chairman of the prison service, and we're talking the Effiase Project. So, Reverend Dr. Stephen Wengam, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama V. It's good to see you. You're doing very well.
Thank you.
You're looking glorious.
I am trying to follow you, even though...
Are you sure?
The lead is huge.
Well, you've raised the bar.
So I'm crawling. I'll get to your level someday.
No comments.
But we talked about the Effiase Project right here when it was launched. You promised you were going to try and raise some funds and do some new projects. So how is it going so far?
It's been going very well. There was a little hitch somewhere. It took us a little time to be able to secure the SMS short code. You know, that is the easiest way to raise funds now. Asking people to go to the bank, you know, somebody thinks that if I want to donate 1 Ghana cedi, which is so much for us, because I did argue that we need 25 million Ghana cedis every year to implement our 10-year plan. So if every Ghanaian gives us 1 cedi a year, we can raise that money easily. So somebody thinks that going to the bank to say, well, I want to you know, give this money for a project, people might look at me in a way. So just this week, fortunately, National Communication Authority were very gracious to us. They've given us a short code for all the networks and on gratis. And I want to say a big thank you to them, and that's their contribution towards Project Effiase. And the short code is 9050. 9050. But it's not yet activated. Hopefully, by next week around this time, we would have finished the process.
Because I was just going to text.
Oh, you are very kind. You are a good ambassador of the prison service. So anytime from next week, a week from today, you can text any amount of money to 9050 on all the network. Okay. So that is one header we've cleared. When we finished the launch, pledges plus was a little over 200,000 Ghana cedis, plus government's pledge of 50 million Ghana cedis. So what we did is that we used part of the money to organize a capacity building, which is ongoing at Pentecost Convention Center for the top notch of the prison service. Because in our public service, if you have to pursue reform, you need to change your mindset. Aside that, one of the areas lacking in the service is training. Our training school has grounded to a halt. Some have been in the service for 30 years, no refresher course. Meanwhile, there's new knowledge on correction management. And therefore, council thought that we need to build their capacity to be able to implement the 10-year plan. So we engaged Professor Stephen Adai, and as I speak now, we are having it. And this is the first of its kind, initiated by the council. They are very, very excited. Apart from that, we also have given us some of the donations that were brought to us. A couple, they want to remain anonymous. The woman is a medical consultant. He and the husband donated medical supplies worth over $5,000 towards Project Effiase. And also the Chinese embassy gave us 10 computers and its accessories. EPP Books also gave us 10 computers and its accessories. So we visited Kumasi Central Prisons. We've given their share of the booty to them. The regional commanders are to come down, and then we'll be able to give them everybody's share. And we're going to publish the donations and what went where. And then also through the instrumentality of the First Lady and then the Ministry of Fisheries, they are giving the prisoners 3 containers of tuna flakes. 3 huge containers. So this Christmas, the prisoners will be smiling. All is to help Project Effiase. I also want to commend the Minister for Children, Children and Social Protection. In support of Project Effiase, her outfit has gone to register almost 1,000 inmates in NHIA, which is going to help us, cut the budget, from that goes into medicals. Are
these prisoners in certain parts of the regions, or it's just scattered?
Well, she's moving from one prison to the other. She's been to Nsawam, she's been to Kumasi, she's been to Ankafol. So I believe we are praying that she'll be able to cover all the prisons, for us. I also want to commend the U.S. government. I paid a courtesy call on them and the U.S. ambassador, and they decided to help us in the area of training. And what happened is that they sent a delegation to come and do needs assessment, and they decided to focus on training. They've sent the first batch to the U.S.
Prison officers.
Prison officers for training. In January, another batch, quite a good number, will be going.
All at the expense of the U.S. Embassy.
That's U.S. government.
Oh, US
that's
government,
right.
Sure.
I also want to commend the Iranian ambassador, who has also promised some scholarships around in this same area, and then the Zenith University College. They also are giving us a bursary so we can come and train prison officers. I also want to commend Saginaw Valley State University in the USA, Michigan. I was there 2 years ago. I paid a courtesy call on the president of the school. They have a criminal justice department, and I was talking to them if we can link it to our training school, and they were very excited. But they mentioned that the Pentecost University College in Ghana is affiliated to them.
Okay.
So if we can, work it through them. So I've met the vice rector to Monday. In fact, two of their professors are in town. We'll meet to finalize discussions and then sign the MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding. And I also want to commend some individual companies who have come to discuss public-private partnership with us. We are very excited about that. That will rake in huge income. We have vast land, we have cheap labor, we have the skilled labor. You'll be amazed in the service, both inmates and officers. We have all kinds of skilled labor, and we are prepared to partner with them, so that they can do business with us, so we can rake in more income. Government also having promised us, when President Mahama visited some prison, promised to do something. Then in the mid-year budget review, the Minister of Finance mentioned 50 million cedis.
Yeah, I will not begin to say hooray to that until that money is actually released to you.
Well, it's going into infrastructure. So I'm even glad it's not it's not coming for us to disperse it. It's going to infrastructure, to expand infrastructure.
Okay. I would have been glad if it came to you for you to use it for the infrastructure. I don't know, I'm just a bit skeptical, because it's still in government conference. That's all. But
well, if you look at the nature of the kind of infrastructure they want to expand, then mean that we have to go and look for consultant and blah, blah, blah. And I'm glad we are being spared of all that, So,
but are there timelines to, exactly what are they expanding and by what time would they finish?
Yes. Well, hopefully before the end of next year.
Okay.
The indications I'm getting is that before the end of next year, we should be done with that. And then there's also another project, one of the major PPPs, public-private partnership, which I'm excited about. We have land at Roman Ridge. Council approved one particular one. It's gone through the system. They've done the tender, and hopefully they will take over very soon. One private investor has located about 100 acres of land. It's going to build prisons village, training school for us, hospital facility, accommodation for about 350 offices, which will be probably the biggest infrastructure development in the service.
That would be a huge investment. What is in it for that private investor?
Good. That's why we are exchanging some of the lands we have at Roman Ridge for that. And that is also a lot of money. But of course, we make sure that Ghanaians are not shortchanged. So the due diligence is going through Ministry of Finance. They've also had to go with the lands, value the land, and make sure that we are getting value for money.
But hopefully, where would the prison's village be located?
For now, I may have to hold on.
Okay.
But we've been there. I've seen the land. The land is bare, and they're just waiting for them to finish the paperwork. They are ready with the resources. Once they start, within 6 months, they'll be done.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That will be, but you've been quite busy. You've been doing a lot.
Yes, because the prison service, our image has been very low. The perception has been quite negative. And I don't blame Ghanaians. If somebody comes, God forbid, kill the relation, and they send him to prison, why would I want to commit resources? But we forget that the prisons play a critical role in our national development. And that's why the developed economies pump millions there. Can you imagine Ghana without prisons? Yeah. For one, just imagine a nation without prisons. Now, you say let them rot there. They will come out anyway. If they are not reformed and transformed, they pose a threat to national security. And that's why we have no other option than to discard that old mentality, that archaic mentality. The prison is only for punishment. You're supposed to reform them so that when they come out, they can be better citizens.
Sure.
Mama V, I'm shocked. I'm told in the U.S., some companies want to employ ex-convicts rather.
Oh.
Especially some financial institutions. You know their reason? Because he has made mistake, he's been there, so he's more careful. Unlike us, we stigmatize them. That's my personal opinion. I may be wrong. Some may not agree with me.
It may not be our fault too, because they don't get reformed. Some even, you know, get worse. Sometimes we see prisoners, people who have been to prison, who have come back, commit different offenses, or, you know, the same offense again, and then they go back again. Because
we've not committed resources to reform them. That is why currently in Ghana prisons, the only thing that is really reforming them is the Word of God. Because we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the tools. Our skills training centers are empty. Kumasi Central Prison, built for 450, housing 2,700 inmates with one carpentry shop. How many of the inmates will ever have a chance to try their hands? They come out unemployed, and with the stigma, nobody wants to employ them. Man must survive, so they go back, you know, to commit crimes. So a good number of them are second-time offenders because we are not committing resources to reform them.
Let's talk about the children. They're still very much on my mind because we visited them during the Easter period. Are they affected by all these changes, and how?
Yes, in fact, our attention is on them. And as resources come in, we want to really channel resources, especially in the area of education. Currently, the service is doing very well. Some of them write the BEC, WASI. We want to, and then some will veer into other, let's say, polytechnic. No, what is it?
The technical institutions.
That's right. You know, so our attention, our eyes on them, and we'll make sure that we commit a chunk of the Project Effiase resources to equipping that institution to be able to reform them.
Okay. Is all well with the council, you know, with the prisons?
Well, for any good venture, people who fight change will rise up against you. This morning, I'm told that there's a very funny item in one of the newspapers attacking my person. The reason is that we are pursuing reforms, and I believe that we must respect the law. Some people don't want to respect the regulations of the prison service. At our last council meeting on Tuesday, for the first time, all 40 members were present, and we've taken a very bold and a very difficult decision, which would affect somebody's interest. And then, so as usual in Ghana, they've started. You know, when you are pursuing change and reforms, I will not be surprised. Subsequently, you see them write all kinds of nasty things about me. You know, but
that's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, because...
Well, that is it, and that's why we are not moving forward as a country. And if some of these tabloids, newspapers can allow themselves, I mean, since we came only 1 year, just last week, we paid a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament, the Prisons Council. Let me quote what the Speaker said after my presentation. Chairman, you made me sad. You made me weep. And he has promised that he's going to make all the parliamentarians contribute additional money. Initially, they gave us 8,000 Ghana cedis, that is, among the parliamentarians. He said he'll give us more money. And then he was going to speak to the budget committee to make sure they don't touch, you know, they don't cut most of
your budgets down.
That's right. And then, hopefully, he will give us the floor of parliament for me to come and make a presentation. Last 2 months, we were in Kumasi to pay a courtesy call on the Otumfuo. And after my president, he was so touched. Otumfuo has given us about 500 acres of land to relocate the central prisons. We are inviting him to come and launch Project Effiase in Kumasi. So far, this council has visited all the 3 arms of government, unprecedented. As I speak now, out of Project Effiase funds, we are organizing a capacity building service for 150 officers, the top notch. And we engage Professor Stephen Adai, because the 10-year plan is the panacea to all our issues. And I realize that if we don't equip them with training, we can't implement it. This is the first time the council is spearheading. The council is getting involved in major reforms.
So how are you going to deal with objections which is even coming from within, which we can't predict in what forms that's going to take?
Well, I know where it's coming from. I'm not perturbed. As a man of God, Nehemiah in the Bible, when he went to lead the Israelites to rebuild the walls, Tobiah, Sanballat, and others rose up against him, wrote letters, did all they can to destroy him. But for me, my strength is here.
Yeah.
If you bring the battle here, I take it up there. And they won't succeed. They better go to sleep.
Are you going to resign?
Well, unless I hear from God. Unless I hear from God, and the one who appointed me says that I'm not happy with your work. But let me say this. I mean, His Excellency the President said very encouraging words to me and said, Chairman, I'm proud of you. You are doing a good job. Keep it up. And he himself is aware that these things will come up against me. You know, so I'm not bothered.
But what's that major issue, that decision that you've taken that's
I wouldn't want to go
some of
public.
these things out?
I wouldn't want, I'm told that it's just a teaser. They want to start running. You know, that's what they do. Run a series of stories to damage me. That's what I don't want to preempt that.
Okay.
But I want to caution those behind it that they won't go far. They won't go far. Ghanaians have seen what we are doing. I mean, look, 15,000 prisoners. Look at now the image of the service. People are now, we've been to corporate bodies, the embassy. They said, we didn't know this was your problem. And then I was with the Minister of Interior 2 days ago. He said, Pastor, Chairman, the speaker said you made him weep. I didn't know you have the anointing to make people weep. Because people said, I have the grace of presenting the issues of the service in a way that moves the heart of people.
Yeah.
That is the grace
That's
God has
true.
given to me.
That's true.
And therefore, if anybody, whoever is doing that, rather hates Ghana. Look at these 15,000 people. We are trying to improve their conditions. I mean, look, our vehicles were so bad. The DG, Director General, was in a convoy with other heads of discrete agencies. Her vehicle seized. Today, government has given us 7 brand new Prados. Unprecedented. Normally, we are an orphan institution. After they give to the police and the army, then the prisons, the rickety vehicles. But all of a sudden, after our president visited in Sawam, 3 weeks after that, Obama probably took inspiration from that. And also visited the federal prison, the first time a sitting president. And I said this, and I want to repeat it here. In 2016, Ghana prisons will be the hub for corporate social responsibility activities. And any institution that does not direct resources, they will become irrelevant.
Yeah?
Because if Obama, the most powerful person in the world, went to the prison, our president went to the prison in the company of the Chief Justice, the message is that the prison is taking the center stage in world affairs.
And we'll be following
I
through.
want to appeal to corporate bodies, embassies. What will make it easy, Mama B, is this. I want corporate bodies to adopt the prisons, religious bodies. Can you imagine if one adopt Anchorfall, one adopt Tamale? I was in Tamale Central Prisons. Look, the fridge that stores their drugs is not functioning. The air condition in the infirmary, it was an eyesore. Tears ran down my cheeks. And when they brought the budget, how much? It's about 4,000 Ghana cedis. Of course, council has approved money, want to release that. So I want to appeal to everybody to come to our aid and let's change the face of Ghana prisons. Let's really transform the inmate. In any case, you don't know when tomorrow you may be there or your child or something might send you there. Then you say, I wish when I was out there, I had contributed something to change the situation over there.
Sure, things will change. I mean, it doesn't take
Thank
just a day,
you.
but
Thanks
it will
for your
change.
encouragement.
I am praying so hard that the 180p will change as well. I am praying. Please
Yes.
change it.
One,
Please, the 1 cedi 80 pesos a day. Let's
That is
change.
it.
Let's change that as well.
And maybe I beg you, let me commend Archbishop Duncan Williams. Today at 2 p.m. he's going to make a donation
Okay.
towards Project Effiase. And then the crab compost plant of the Zoom Lion.
Yeah, the Just One Group.
They're also going to make a donation. So, and this Christmas season, please, instead of just coming to give us biscuits and drinks, why don't you donate money, medical supplies? I mean, especially they need this disinfectants, skin diseases. Why don't you come and help us refurbish the infirmaries? You can buy carpentry tools, this tie and dye, industry over there. We have our tractor is broken down. We want to appeal to corporate bodies that in the spirit of Christmas, they should help us. And then government should give us contract, private sector, and thank God for multimedia.
Sure.
You've supported Project Effiase right from day one to, and with your airtime, worth thousands of Ghana cedis. And I want to see next year Multimedia Group adopting one of our prisons.
We're praying. We're praying. We're praying so hard. But Reverend, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, as always, for sharing with us. Reverend Dr. Stephen Wengam is the chairman of the Prisons Service Council. More on Project Effiase, and you heard him. Let's donate in the spirit of Christmas and giving. Let's do it. Stay with us. It's the International Day for Migration. We're talking about some refugees in Ghana. How are they surviving, really? Are we thinking about them as well? Stay with us here on the AM Show.